Hello YouTube. So, we're back with another, this is going to be a combination video, combination of a unboxing and a product review sort of thing, testing and such. I'm just going to compile it into one video. It's not as big of a deal because what we have here today is the Hone H-O-N-E HN615A. It's a polisher. It's actually supposed to be a 15mm throw random orbital polisher. And at the time of purchase, this is $69.99 on Amazon, and you can also get an additional $5 off coupon that you can apply. That's not always there, but it was there when this was purchased. Now for a 15mm throw polisher, $70 is pretty cheap, and supposedly it comes with a couple things as well. The box itself is a box, fairly generic. It's mostly got the usual Chinese tool style box where it's got a picture of the tool floating over some random colors and designs. The box is very short on info. The real shocker is the unit is a polisher, and it does polishing. It also does sealing and waxing. That's pretty much the only information on the box. I will say, of the few words that are on the box, there is no typos or anything like that, no common Chinese to English mistakes. There's a caution. It says, for professional use only. User must read instruction manual. Always use proper respiratory and eye protection. And that's surprisingly all spelled correctly, and uses punctuation. This unit, I believe, is supposed to have an 850 watt motor. Who knows how true to that it is, but for the price, it was worth a shot. So, what I'm going to do is break this open, give it a feel, see what's included, and see if it's worth your $70 or less. So, first and foremost, we have let's go this direction. We have the user manual, and with that user manual we have what appears to be 2 replacement brushes, which seems like all these tools include now, which is basically telling you that the brushed motor will wear at some point. A wrench, an Allen wrench, and no, that's about it. Here we have some of our polishing and waxing discs. Yellow, fairly firm. Blue is very soft. And orange being the firmest. So we have, this is probably a cutting pad. It's probably more of a polishing pad, and this is a final finish pad, very soft. So we got 3 different pads that come with that. Here we have some sort of bag. It looks like a little canvas bag. It's something, at least. It doesn't say anything on it. But yeah, it looks basically like a canvas shopping bag. Okay. It's something. Give them credit for trying. It'd be nice to have a zippered bag or something, but for $70, I'm not going to complain. We have the additional screw-on handle. tool itself. I'm going to just put it in the box for now. So the tool itself, which has the backing plate attached, it's definitely got good weight to it. It does say on there, it's got their product label. Down the back side, it does have their small information, the model number on there again. Pad diameter 150 millimeters. It does say power is 850 watts. Speed range is 2,000 RPM to 5,200 RPM or 5,200 RPM. Prohibit the use in the rain, and please read the instructions before use. The orbit stroke length is listed also on the tool as 15 millimeters. On the top side, we have a power switch, which looks like you slide it forward for on, I guess, and back for off. And it's not easy to push either, so it's not something you would accidentally shut off. It does have your standard dial for speed, ranged from 1 through 6. There's the cable. It does have a cable, Velcro, or a hook and loop cable tie in there. Again, the tool has a good heavy feel to it. So that's always nice. Let's have the grip here. Of course, this can screw onto either side. But yeah, it's got a very kind of robust feel to it. It doesn't feel cheap. I mean, it is cheap, but it doesn't feel all that cheap. And the backing plate, I like to see too, it has the holes in it for ventilation, which is good. It is listed as a 6-inch sanding pad that they call this backing plate. Rolls nicely. I am going to get quickly, grab a scale. I just want to see what the actual weight of this tool is, and we'll check that out. Okay, got my handy mail scale that I use for packages. It's very accurate. So I'm going to get a reading here on the weight. Let's pop the cable on top. Try to get it to balance. I'll put it on that side here. That works better. Alright, so it's coming in at 5 pounds and 14.6 ounces. So just a hair under 6 pounds, which is not bad. It's got a good amount of weight to it. Until I test it, I really don't know if it's going to feel fatiguing under the hands or anything like that. But it's nice that I kind of like a heavier tool because it doesn't feel like it's going to wander around as much on you. In grams, for those of you using the more, how should I say, the measurement that makes more sense, this is 2,680 grams or 2.68 kilograms. And hopefully I didn't screw that up. So that's not bad weight-wise. Let's take a look real quick. We'll just open up one of these pads and see. Alright. It's definitely seem like they are truly 6-inch pads. And honestly, these pads look exactly like some of the ones you can actually purchase separately on Amazon. There's a couple brands that's kind of got that square crosshatch cut on them, and there are, there's a bunch of them that are very highly reviewed actually on Amazon of a pack of these pads. So partially what made me go this direction over some of the other tools was the fact that this did include 3 potentially useful pads and a backing plate. And for the price of $70, or in this case less, I figured it couldn't hurt to give it a shot. I was considering the Max Shine, the M8S, which I know a lot of detailers really like, except for the switch placement, or I should say the the rotary switch, for the speed adjustment switch, is in a weird spot. It's on the back underneath the cable. So, and those sell for $89.99. Now those are rated at, I think, 900 watts, which is a nice powerful machine, and I think it's got a 5-inch backing plate. So some people do prefer the smaller backing plate, and I honestly feel like I would have preferred the 5-inch backing plate also. But again, at $70, including 3 discs, a canvas produce bag, and I mean, that's all it really includes. I mean, obviously a handle, but this seemed like a pretty good deal. There was only a few reviews on it on Amazon as of my purchasing it. I think it was about 6 or 7, and they all seemed pretty favorable. But I wanted to really kind of get it myself and test it on my own to see what I think of it. So let's see how this goes. Take this pad and line it up. Yeah. I mean, it's on there. Okay. So I will save the testing for actually working on a car. Again, I kind of, the speed switch here feels a little cheap. Not that I don't think it'll really be a problem. But this switch here, the power switch, is pretty hefty. It's got a nice strong click to it. It's not easy to accidentally engage or disengage. You know what? As far as the feel goes, if I were to push down on it a little bit, I mean, it feels pretty well balanced. I mean, yeah, it's a little bottom heavy, but it's to be expected. But once you're holding it, I mean, this feels pretty good. So getting it on the car will be the ultimate test. But initial impressions are honestly pretty nice, considering especially the cost of this thing. Really, how often can you find a 15mm throw polisher for under $100 even? You know, I considered another one that I think was a 21mm throw, which was like around $90, but it didn't include anything either. And what really pushed me to this is that I kind of needed it within a certain time frame, and the other one was not ready to, wasn't shipping quickly. So I found this, and I decided to give this a go. I mean, who knows? Maybe it's good, maybe it's not. I probably won't be opening this up right away. I may in the future to see, you know, what the quality of the internals are. It's all plastic on the outside. There's a little bit you could tell that the frame, there's a little bit peeking out here. The frame looks like it's a magnesium alloy, which a lot of tools are made of magnesium. So you can really see that the underneath the plastic, it seems to be all magnesium. It's just on the outside they use like that hard textured, it almost has like a texture to it. The hard plastic that a lot of tools use. So really, for the price, it feels nice and robust. I'm really looking forward to trying it out, and we'll catch you when I can film that. Alright, so in this first test here, I'm working on my friend's 1993 Mazda Miata. Now on this car it does have single stage paint, which doesn't really matter for us testing the polisher, but it is worth noting if you see a lot of blue on the pad. Actually, you'll probably see it in the next clip, but it's because of that. Anyway, the machine handles quite well, you know, as typical with a DA polisher like this. If you hit some complex areas, you can make the movement stall, which you will see as I go around the mirror a little bit. You can notice that. also if you're not holding it flat on the pad, it's easier to make it stall. So try to, as always, try to keep the pad flat. Now sometimes when you're right on top of it, you're working on it, you don't have as good of a gauge as to how flat it is, other than just trying to feel for it. So it took a little bit, to get the right kind of feel for it and make sure I got it there. This is not the first time using it. I actually worked on the hood first and did the hood quite well, and then I moved on to the door. I didn't unfortunately get video footage of the hood, plus I couldn't really get a good angle. So the door worked out a lot better for actually getting some footage. For spreading the compound, I used it on the slowest setting, like a 1. It's 1.5, and then I usually ramp it up to about 5 to speed 5 or 6. And that for doing the heavy cutting and such. The products that I'm using in this are the Chemical guys. Not the strongest of products, but still did a really, really nice job on this car. Later in the video, we'll have some before and after shots. Not of the exact same spots, unfortunately, but you can get a pretty good feel for how rough the car looked initially. The paint was basically completely faded. Some of the areas were so oxidized and whatnot that it had no shine whatsoever. The car hadn't been washed in at least 7 years, if not longer. Actually, they don't even remember the last time it was washed, and my friend, he's been driving it for the past 6 or so, so he knows it's never been washed throughout that time. So he had it to me for some routine maintenance, like tune-up work, and I offered to do a detailing on it. So I did some paint correction here, and I also did just a full cleaning and full detailing, inside and out. But the main thing here, obviously, is the paint. So the machine worked really good. It handles really well. The weight feels good. It's not real fatiguing. Yeah, it's 6 pounds, so some people might think that's heavy. To me, really not a big deal. Feels good. Very controllable. Doesn't seem overly wobbly or anything like that. It's very predictable. I've had 0 issues with it so far. It works good. I haven't had it accidentally turn on or accidentally shut off. The power switch is very, very, very clicky, so it's not like it's going to accidentally change positions on you. The rotary switch, which I mentioned in the earlier part, to me feeling slightly cheap, really has no effect. It doesn't seem to be a bother in any way. It goes exactly where I said it. It doesn't move on its own. It works fine. Doesn't feel like I'm going to have any issues with it. So far, machine was well worth the price. I've been using only the pads that were included with the machine so far, as I actually didn't buy any additional yet. But I've been washing them out under warm water with just some real mild, like a dish detergent. Just hand manipulating them with squeezing them and pushing the polish and compounds out, lathering them up and pushing them out with the help of warm water to open up the cells of those foam pads. So I've used them on the blue Miata now. I've used them on also another friend of mine's Hyundai Accent, which had some pretty heavy scratches, which did require some wet sanding first, and then I also used the polisher to compound and polish out the wet sanding scratches, as well as some other oxidation and some sun fades on the paintwork. And it's been working great. Now, no fault of the polisher. Next time I would probably opt for a little bit of a heavier compound. I do have the 4-step from Chemical Guys, starting at V32, then go to V34, V36 to V38. It works good, but I will say even the V32 isn't as strong of a cut as I was anticipating. So next time I'd probably go to something a little heavier, probably something from Meguiar's or many of the other professional series products. But overall, works very good. I like the machine a lot. Works good. It's not overly loud. I have no issues with it. It's been really doing a good job. Every time I use it, I'm getting a better feel for it. These are some of the videos, or some of my first uses of it. Probably the first day of using it, I should say. I did different panels in different orders, and times to clean out the pads between
But yeah, for the price of basically $70, I give this thing definitely a 2 thumbs up. Awesome little machine, definitely worth the money. It's a good buy. Anything changes down the road, I will be sure to let everyone know. But yeah, check it out.